In every life, there are moments when the world goes silent. Friends drift away, doors close, opportunities vanish, and even heaven seems mute. Many call it abandonment. But what if the silence was not absence but strategy? What if the emptiness you feel is the sacred chamber where God prepares you for the weight of what you once prayed for? Today, we will uncover one of the most hidden mysteries of the spiritual path: why God separates before He elevates, why the chosen are led first into solitude, and why silence becomes the loudest voice of destiny. Throughout Scripture and history, we find the same design. Separation always precedes exaltation. Moses spent 40 years in the desert before confronting Pharaoh. Joseph was thrown into a pit and sold into slavery before sitting on Egypt's throne. David was forgotten in the fields before he was anointed king. Even Christ himself was led into the wilderness before his ministry began. Separation is not punishment, it is preservation. God removes the voices that feed doubt, the relationships that would poison faith, the distractions that would suffocate destiny. In the cocoon of solitude, character is formed. The applause fades, but the structure strengthens. Napoleon Hill once wrote, "Every adversity carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." What feels like loss may be the womb of your calling. The pit, the cave, the desert, they are not endings. They are classrooms where God prepares the soul for responsibility, endurance, and authority. Silence is one of God's most mysterious languages. It feels like abandonment, yet it is intimacy. It feels like emptiness, yet it is revelation. God does not compete with noise. He does not speak in the storm of distractions, but in the stillness of hidden places. It was in the wilderness silence that Moses saw the burning bush. In prison's silence, Joseph discovered the gift of interpretation. In the field's solitude, David composed psalms that echo through centuries. Jesus himself withdrew from the crowds to pray in mountains alone. Napoleon Hill called this creative transmutation the moment when the mind, stripped from the world's noise, enters deep reflection, and new strength is born. In silence, God does what applause cannot. He whispers identity, shapes resilience, and implants direction. But silence requires reverence. If you resist it, it becomes torment. If you embrace it, it becomes sacred ground. Separation always involves loss. People leave, opportunities close, familiar paths collapse. And in the pain of subtraction, we are tempted to ask, why is God taking everything from me? But God does not steal. He prunes. And every pruning is preparation for greater fruit. What you call subtraction, heaven calls strategy. He removes the branches that will not carry your next harvest. He clears the soil of dependencies, insecurities, and attachments so the roots can grow deeper. Hill observed, the mind receives powerful ideas only when it frees itself from noise and dependency. Likewise, God clears the stage so you can finally hear Him without distortion. Those who were removed could not survive the altitude of your next season. The voices that left were not meant to echo in your future. Yes, pruning hurts, but the tree that resists pruning withers. The one that submits flourishes beyond measure. Separation often feels like fire. Pain burns, dreams die, pride collapses. And yet, fire is never wasteful. The potter never places clay in the furnace without purpose. It is heat that gives the vessel its strength. The cross came before resurrection. The prison came before the palace. The humiliation came before the crown. Pain is not the burial of destiny, it is the planting of it. Jesus said, unless a seed falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much fruit. John 12:24. Burial looks like death, but in truth it is planting. What others call your end, heaven calls your beginning. Napoleon Hill called this stage incubation, where hidden struggles transform into visible greatness. In silence and in fire, your ego dies, your dependency breaks, your soul is restructured. And when the time comes, the seed that was hidden bursts through the soil in undeniable strength. Every hidden season has an appointed end. No one remains in the cave forever. Joseph left prison not to return to slavery, but to reign. David emerged from solitude not to remain a shepherd, but to be enthroned. Christ left the wilderness not in weakness, but in authority to heal, teach, and redeem. So will it be with you. The silence you endured, the pruning you suffered, the pain you carried, none of it is wasted. Every tear was watering the seed of your future. Every closed door was protection. Every season of isolation was rehearsal for the stage of destiny. When the preparation ends, glory cannot be hidden. Authority is felt. Purpose is visible. And those who once doubted will see that it was never chanced, it was divine orchestration. Napoleon Hill concluded, the man who is truly prepared becomes magnetic. Opportunities are drawn to him. In the same way, the soul refined by God becomes a channel of wisdom, healing, and light. Do not despise the silence. Do not curse the solitude. You are not abandoned, you are chosen. Separated not for shame, but for glory. Hidden not for punishment, but for preservation. If you feel the silence of God, know this, you are not being buried, you are being planted. In the secret, your roots are deepening. In the silence, your spirit is strengthening. And in due season, What was hidden will be revealed, and what was small will become unshakable. Now, make this declaration with me. I embrace the process, because I trust the purpose. Stay with us here, at the Sewer of Meaning, where every word is a seed and every seed carries destiny.